put this one on YouTube. I'm driving so bad, honestly. I win. Didn't get the greatest of starts. I don't know if you guys can tell on the video, but for me, I can feel myself getting more confident.
20 to go at the line. Door, still there.
Alright, what's up guys? How's it going today? Hope you're having an awesome day. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you don't already. I'm going to be doing, as you guys probably saw in the title, this is a Kokomo Special, so I'll be doing a lot of stuff at Kokomo today for you guys. We're starting off in the dirt street stock. If you're wondering why I'm not on the screen, I wanted to show you guys everything that Kokomo looks like all the way across the board without my big ugly face on it. So, what's interesting about the street stock, or at least when I tested all this, yeah, it doesn't have a Kokomo setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the Lima Land setup, which is another quarter-mile dirt track, and that's what I'm going to test it with. The track is at slight usage in the late afternoon. And other than that, we will see what's going on here and test out Kokomo. This will be the street stocks, and then we'll do the street stocks, probably 360 non-wing sprint cars, 360 wing sprint cars, and pro late models. That's probably what we'll do. So this video will be 4 different cars here at Kokomo, all on similar tracks, like track usage wise. So, I'll tell you the Lima Land setup's pretty loose, but Lima Land is a different type of racetrack, of course. Kokomo is primarily made, or it's at least known for its sprint car and midget racing, just because of how small it is, and it does produce some awesome sprint car races. I won't put the modified in this video, just because I don't want to put the modified in this video, but eventually there will be a modified video come out with each car at the different dirt tracks and how they kind of handle and act, in my opinion. But this one will be just Kokomo since it just came out this week, and that's the way we'll do it. I'll turn about 10 laps in each of the cars and then give just a real quick summary of how I think they feel on the racetrack, and that'll be today's video. So I caught the tire there, got a little loose. All of the sprint cars and the late models actually do have setups for Kokomo, so it won't be quite so like kind of slicked off and odd feeling, just because this setup wasn't made for this racetrack at all. So that's part of the reason it's so loose and not handling the greatest. So that was about 7 or 8 laps, and brief summary about it. It just needs a setup. I think it'll be fun. The place being as small as it is, the street stocks will be fun, just because you'll have a lot of cars in a small space, and that's what makes street stock racing fun, so you can kind of rub on each other a little bit. But overall, it's not bad, but it could be better. But I think a lot of it is a setup deal. So at this point, I'm going to switch out to the 360 non-wing sprint car, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, just got back in here. It is the 360 non-wing back at Kokomo. Turned up the track usage just a little bit so that it slides around a little bit more, looks a little different. Turned up to about 25% track usage, so we'll just roll around real quick. This place, like I said earlier, is known for its sprint car racing, and it builds up a really nice cushion up here along the top. From the little reading that I did last night, sounds like iRacing has that a little messed up right up next to the wall, but for all intents and purposes, it'll be fine for us. So we'll hammer down. I'm not very good in the non-winged sprint cars, but this ought to be able to get you guys a good idea, anyway, of how the track handles. This is also just the fixed setup, so. There we go, got it upside down for everybody. Oh yeah. Well, there's the first one we've ever gotten upside down on a video for a dirt race anyway. We'll just take a look at it from the outside just for the fun of it for you guys. And like I said, I'm pretty bad in these things, so I'm probably slinging it in a little hard and all that stuff, and got in there a little shallow and just flipped it right up the wall. It happens. Turn a few more laps, and then I'll give you guys a summary of how I think it feels, just based on the fixed setup, and then I'll jump into... I was thinking to do the 360 sprint car winged, but I'm thinking I'm actually going to jump in with the 410, just because I don't run the 410 very much, and I think it'll make for a little... Dang, did it again. Look at that. I guess I just don't sling it in hard enough. I'm guessing that's what that issue is I'm trying to get in too shallow to run the top. And that's why it goes straight at the fence. Setup does seem kind of loose as well, so that may be part of it too. I really don't know that much about these things to try and make a real quick setup for it. So that'll be something that'll come with time. But it's fun to run, I can tell you that. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure somebody that knows how to actually run a non-wing sprint car would have a lot better idea of how this feels. But to me, it actually feels pretty decent. Not spectacular, but not bad either. So there's our 10 laps, and I'll just idle around here as I give you my summary. I think it feels okay for what it is. It just, you can tell it's a non-wing sprint car, of course, because it's a non-wing sprint car. It's supposed to feel like that, so there's not a ton of grip overall. But the track itself feels good. And something that I will note too, you can see here how good of a job iRacing did on working to get the cushion to actually look and feel like a cushion, so that when you're up on it, it actually makes a difference to how the car actually handles. But that's just a little thing that iRacing has improved on here recently a lot, was so that they could start working on the dirt physics a little more, and so they've actually got the cushion working the way a cushion should. But I'll jump out here for a second and come back in with the 410 wing sprint car. Alright, got the 410 out of the stable again. Track is same spot it was with the 360, right around 25% or so. Same deal, fixed setup that iRacing has built for Kokomo. This is the 410 wing car, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes around the racetrack. For those of you that are iRacers and you're wondering where I got my my paint scheme from for my sprint cars, look up Colby's eye paints. He did an awesome job for me, and for what I consider a relative price, he did an awesome job. I gave him full artistic liberty to do anything that he wanted to with the colors I had selected and the logos, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park. So I highly recommend him to anybody that wants a skin, but I'll go ahead and move in here. By the way, he did not pay me to say that. I'm just giving him a shout out because I think he does awesome work. So 410 at Kokomo. Yep, knew that was going to happen. Caught the tire right there. This thing's fun, man. I always forget how fun the 410 sprint car is until I get in and run it a little bit, and then I remember how much fun I have doing it. I can tell you though, the fixed setup is a little tight, just a little bit tight. Of course, as the track wears in, that will work its way out of the setup, but just for starters, it's pretty snug. Almost got upside down, and I bet it's hurt now. Actually, I'm not getting a meatball, so I think it's okay. Turn just a few more, and we'll move on to the late model. Well, that was pretty much 10 laps in the 410. Impressions off the fixed setup is that the setup, of course, like I've said in all of these, needs some work. But overall, it's going to be fun to run these things here. Nice little short straightaway is going to be turning the whole time. It's going to be a blast. But real quick, I will load in the 358 late model, and I'll be right back. Alright, you got the Pro late model is what iRacing calls it. It's a 358 late model. Back here at Kokomo, same deal. Track's about 25% or so. I'll turn around 10 laps to give you guys kind of an idea. Fixed setup for the Pro lates, so we'll see how it is. I was trying to work my way up to the cushion. Cushion feels good. It feels like a cushion ought to feel. You can really kind of lean on it if you get up there properly. Setup's not super conducive to running the top, but the right amount of throttle and brake, you can make it work. Well, I'll say this about the fixed setup in the late models, or at least this late model. It is really, really loose on entry and incredibly tight on exit because of just how hard I'm having to turn the wheel to the right, how far it's going is kind of part of the reason why it's so bad off of the corner. But a little setup work and you can adjust that right out of the car. So that really shouldn't be an issue. But it's issues with the fixed setups is the deal. iRacing, I don't know who makes their dirt fixed setups at this point. I know Ray Alfala used to make all the fixed setups for the pavement oval stuff, but it's just one of those things where it'd be nice if they were a little closer, but at the same time, it does give benefits to the guys who do know how to make good setups. So it's one of those things. It's just how it goes. But thanks for watching this video, guys. If you haven't already, put a thumbs up down there. Drop a comment in the comment section below. tips for anything, or setup tips, or how to drive a non-wing sprint car a little better, whatever you feel necessary. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day.